In this lesson, we're going to continue to look at how we can traverse through the DOM and pick out just different elements using selection via jQuery. So let's open up our editor, and I've added in a new class here to through the wrapper here. So maybe what I'm going to do, I've got classes of sections, and I've got a bunch of these sections here. So I want to pick up all of the different siblings that are next to home. So let's take a look at that and do console, and we're going to do a console directory and pick out that ID, so the element with the ID of home, and we're going to see what siblings are available. And so these are going to be the siblings that are immediately siblings of this current one, so they're going to share that same parent. So we're going to log all of those out, and I'm going to comment this one out so it's not interfering with what we're looking at, and refresh it. And now within the console, we see that with this particular element has 3 or 5 siblings. So it's got sections, and notice as well that the footer is included, so it actually doesn't matter what the tag name is, it's still considered a sibling because all 5 of these immediately have the same parent, which is wrapper. So we can actually move through all the next ones if we wanted to as well, so we can see which sibling is immediately next to it. So we could do something like next. And these are all for siblings specifically. So if we want to see what's next to it, we can see that next to home is the About Me section, and we can see its information here that's available from the DOM. We can do next all. So this will select all of the next siblings of that selected element. So next all as well is available. So when I refresh it, we're back to that same list of 5, and this is essentially the same thing as doing siblings, where you're seeing all of the next available siblings that are available within the list. And we can also move through to the next ones as well if we wanted to, so we could pick out, and instead of next all, we can be really specific. So let's say we wanted to change the background color of specific one to yellow. So we could do this. Going to get rid of that console directory, so we don't need to list that anymore. So we go open up home, and we want to only pick up a particular one. We don't want to go to all of them and update the CSS. We only want to pick up the value for the equivalent one. So equivalent EQ of the second item in the list, and we'll apply some styling to there. So I do need to specify that's going to sit within the quoted area. And I do need to specify the class, so I've got a number of them here. So I've got them under class section. So this is essentially, this is the same way as we'd identify it using CSS. We can update the background to yellow, so now when we refresh it, we can see that our second item in the list there is yellow. So we can do a combination of applying CSS values to traverse through them, and as well we can move through them using jQuery. And we can also do a combination, so this would be selecting this particular element this way, and then so we can do a combination where we want to select and add to the next one, and chain them together in this type of format. So now instead of being on services, let's refresh it, and we see that's portfolio. So we've we've used combination of CSS and using jQuery to traverse through all of our elements and select out the element we want to apply those properties to. And essentially all of this gives you a lot of flexibility how you can select and make sure that you're getting the correct elements and utilizing either jQuery or CSS type selection within your jQuery elements. or HTML elements via jQuery. So we have looked a little bit into what we can do with CSS and jQuery. So in the next set of lessons, we're going to look deeper into how we can update our CSS and our styling using jQuery. So that's coming up in the next set of lessons.